Hey, Jim from Tech 11 back. So, aback, that's a good word. Um, we are going to put our 10600K in the case. So, here we go. So, the first thing we want to do is just check the standoffs in the case and move all the wiring out of the way. Check the standoffs in the case that they're going to match up with the motherboard. So we'll grab the board here. And I'm just going to eye it here. And it looks like, yes, we will match up with the board quite nicely. Everything is out of the way, so we'll put the board in. Oh, take your plastic off. Don't need that anymore. And I think that's about it on the board. We're also going to hook up our SSD here, or at least attach it to the trays. So we'll go ahead and do that. Maybe on camera, maybe off camera. Make sure you put them in the right way. That's one. I'll try and keep my head out of the way. I'll just put them in loose for now until I get all four in. And I'll tighten them up after the fact. Whoops. And yes, I'm using a magnetic screwdriver, which I've never had any issues with. Don't over tighten stuff. There's no need to. You're not running down a highway at 100 miles an hour. Well, you are, but okay. So that's done. And we can pop that. We can pop that in. So we have two trays in here. Put this back down. Well, I think we're still good. All right, let's put our motherboard in. Find our motherboard screws. Probably could be either one. I'm just going to test one of these screws. Should go in pretty freely without putting the motherboard in here for now. God, you get old, you get shaky. Hello. Usually they're pretty obvious, the motherboard screws. In this case, they're not so obvious. It's okay, we have others. So we'll try some of these. What do we have here? I am very, very shaky. Yeah, that one is much better. So these are the motherboard screws that we're going to use. So it's always good to check those. That way you know you get the right one. So I'll grab 6 of these. Actually 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. Put these off to the side just so it's a little bit easier. Okay, moving on. So I always install the cooler, especially with today's coolers, because it's just a lot easier to put it in with the cooler on it, and it gives you something to grip also. So as you can see, the back plate is, or the I/O shield is already installed on this motherboard. It's not the case with all of them. Some of them you have a separate shield that you have to install. In this case we don't have to, because it is part of the motherboard. Make sure everything lines up. Just going to grab another light. Because like I'm blind. Yeah, we line up quite well. Right on target. Perfect. And now we can start screwing in our motherboard. I like using a very long screwdriver. These I only put in snug to begin with. Not tight at all, just in case I have to make any adjustments. Whoops. Trying not to get my head in the way here. I don't want to know if I have a bald spot. Thank you. I just might. It's just easier with a longer screwdriver because you have some locations that are a little bit tight. So this just makes it a lot easier. The long screwdriver makes it a lot easier. And yes, I'm putting in all of the screws. One more. And we'll just snug them all up. Like I stated previously, no need to over tighten. None whatsoever. It's not a car. Oh. I know some of you young people have really good eyes, but a good light is a godsend. Make sure you have a good light. All right. That is done. Motherboard is installed, no wires are pinched, no children were hurt in the making of this video. Alright. Okay. Motherboard is in. Power supply now. What are we going to put in? Haven't actually decided that. We have an 850 Supernova. We have a 1000 watt. We're not using the 1000 watt. Those were EVGAs. We have a Corsair 750 watt. And we have an EVGA 850. So, let's go with the EVGA 850 watt power supply. It's got the bag. Nice. And this is fully modular, which I like. So, let's start installing all the cables here. I'm just going to put something down on top of the case. All right. We will just use this for now. As you can see, it's fully modular. It's much easier to put the cables on now than install it in the case and then put the cables on. So we'll do it that way. Nice little bag it comes with. We had some of these already clipped closed, so we'll take those off. Hello. I'll probably install them all in the power supply, even though I won't be using some of them. That way they don't get lost by the customer. Oh yeah, I just put these little clips on them. We'll take them off. What is this? Ah, interesting. Not sure what this is for. But it was in there. We'll stick that back in the bag. It's like some sort of 3-pin fan extension. I don't know, if we need it, we'll use it. So for now, let's just hook up everything. So our 24 pin. So always on one side it'll show probably motherboard here. I'll put this back in the light here. You can see it. It says MB right there. I'm sorry, this way. So this goes to the motherboard. Actually, it says MB on both sides. Strange power supply. Hello. Whoops. Like I say, we don't want to scratch the case. So it should be sitting on the rubbers there. There we go. Okay. So that is in there. And your power supply should all be marked SATA, SATA 3, your CPU, your VGA. Everything should be marked on there. On the fully modular. So this is our 8-pin CPU, 8 and 4. So the solid 8-pin side. You want to put that. I'm going to move this light a little bit and turn it. That might be better, yeah. So this is our solid, our non-split side, and this is our split side. So this is the side that will go to the motherboard, because this motherboard is an 8-pin and a 4-pin, and we're going to use them both because we're overclocking. And it's going to go into the CPU. On the power supply. That is in. Okay, so we know this has 4 SATAs on here. So we'll use this one. This one has 3 5-pin Molex, or sorry, 5-volt Molex connectors. So that has its own, it's under peripheral. So we'll use that one also. Sorry. Right there. For now, we'll put in our SATA connection. And this one has, how many SATA connections in here? This one has SATA 1, 2, and 3. The peripheral, the CPU 2, VGA 2, VGA, VGA 3, VGA 1. 1, 2, 3, wow. 4 VGA connectors. We'll put this in our SATA 1. Hello. There we go. That one is in. So our card is an 8-pin. Although this is the solid portion. So this will go to the power supply, and this will go to the graphics card, which is a 6 and a 2. And so that will go in any one of our VGAs. We'll put it in VGA 2, just to give us a little bit of room. Our Molex, that'll go in the peripheral 1. And we'll put that in anyway. It's another VGA connector, which we're just not going to need, so I'm not going to put that VGA connector in. Put that in the bag. And additional SATA, we don't really need it, but I'll put it in anyway. And we'll put that in SATA 3. So, check all your connections, make sure they're all good and snug. I was going to say that the clips have clipped in. I probably grabbed the clip there. These are all good. We just want to make sure of that. And then we go. Our power supply is ready to install. So this is an 80 plus gold power supply. More than enough wattage most of the time. Like I say, I have a 5900X with a 3060 in it, running on a 550 watt Seasonic Platinum power supply without issue. So we'll put that off to the side. Take this off of here and put it away because it's got really sharp corners. All right. 22 minutes so far. Not bad. Motherboard is in. Okay. We can start hooking up all of our cables. We may need, I'm not sure how many, these are 3 pins. The fans are 3 pin. These are our motherboard connections. Right here for our front panel connections. Audio connection. USB 3.0 connection. And the motherboard is all well marked for that. We do have a Thunderbolt header, which we will not be using. And I'm going to need my light. And you can usually tell that it's the correct connection because you can see this is the audio and it's got one blank spot. So match that up. Not sure that you can see that, but we'll match that up with what we've got on our board here. Kind of tells you, gives you the correct orientation that way anyway. And there we go. We do have RGB headers on here. We have RGB and ARGB. The ARGB is the RGB is the 4-pin. ARGB is the, it's a 4-pin, but it's actually a 3-pin because there's one pin that's not there. Took me a while to figure that one out. Our USB 3.0 here is here at the front. go ahead and install that. And it's got an empty pin on one corner. And that is in. Now we've got our fans, and they're all 3-pin fans. And I have all 4-pin headers. So I may then we've got 2 4s back here, chassis fans. So we'll hook the rear exhaust fan, which is also a 3-pin. And the 3-pin just won't use the PWM function of the motherboard. And we want to keep it as clean as possible. We will come all the way around the fan, and we will tie everything down afterwards. And we're going to, what do we got? Chassis fan 1 is where we'll connect this. Chassis fan 1 for the rear discharge fan. Gets harder and harder for me to see all the time. Got it right the first time. Oh, it's in a tight location. Sorry. Hard to get my hand in there and see at the same time. There we go. That is installed correctly. So all I have to do is tie it down now. We'll go so far with this, and then we'll stop and continue on another time. But for now, my head's probably in the video a lot, isn't it? I don't know. So we're looking at the front I/O, the front LED reset power switch. The power switch is almost 99% of the time right beside an empty pin where there is no pin. That's where the power switch goes. And the reset is usually right below that. And in this case it is too. And then on the other side of the power switch, or the other side of that empty pin, is your speaker, which we'll put in before we forget. As soon as we find it. Here we go. Our speaker. We always want a speaker all the time. So it's going to go right beside the empty 4, or the empty pin. If it doesn't go beep. And then there's one pin on the right hand side of it. That's for something else that we usually never use. And that is for, let's see what it's for. Oh, it's for the chassis. Chassis intrusion, more than likely. Okay, so we got our speaker on there. Let's hook up the other ones. There's our speaker. Works good with the magnifying lens. And you can see also. Okay. We'll peel these back a little bit, which is fine. You can do that. Just so it gives us, we can play around with them. So we're going to put in our power switch, which is going to go right here. I'll probably end up taking that out only because I got to put in my reset, and power switch is kind of in the way. So is the fan, for that matter, or the speaker. But I can just do that. So let's take that out. We'll put in our reset. And that's our reset. And when we look down here, we see the reset is below the directly below the power. There we go. Reset switch is on. What is beside the reset? Power LED. That's a difference. Oh, we've got a couple of places we can put the power LED, and we've got the hard disk drive LED, which I haven't found yet. It's hiding on me somewhere. Oh, there it is. Hello. Power switch, power LED, reset, which came off on us. Okay. The power switch right above the reset. And then we've got our power LEDs, plus and minus. Plus is on the outside and negative is on the inside. Let me put that one there. This is usually the most excruciating and painful part for me, because my eyesight sucks. My head was in the way, wasn't it? Probably. Maybe not. Anyway. I'm going to move this light a little closer. There we go. All right. Okay, so we have to find our power LED is somewhere. Let's just undo these here so we can find our power LED in this mess of wires. my fans. Oh well, we'll look at that after. Find out where the hell our power LED is. And we'll clean this all up afterwards. As in tying everything down. I don't know why, but as we move forward, we'll see if we can find the power LED. Those are those four. Yeah, we seem to be missing the hard disk drive LED and the power LED. So it's probably hidden somewhere in the case, then we'll have to find that. Anyway, that's as far as we're going to go for now. I'll get the power supply installed, hook it all up, and next video we'll see what it looks like. Anyway, Jim from Tech Lovin', that's as far as we got so far today. We'll leave it at 37 minutes. Thanks for watching, and come back soon. Thanks. Bye.